Okay, everyone, this is the Chapter 3 Quiz 1 review. Feel free to pause whenever you need to fill in your definitions. We're going to be going through every section of this quiz review in preparation for your quiz. Okay, the first thing you're going to need to know is being able to match the vocabulary words to the given inequality symbol. So you guys already know we have 4 inequality symbols. Okay, and they have multiple words or vocabulary words that associate with each inequality symbol. The first one is greater than. Okay, so we're just going to go and we're going to cross these out as we go. So we have greater than, and some similar or other used phrases for the greater than symbol are as follows: larger than, above, more than. Again, feel free to pause if you need. I'm going to cross these out as we go. Okay. The next symbol is the greater than or equal to symbol. Okay. Similar phrases are no less than, not smaller than, at least, and minimum. Okay, the symbol after that is the less than symbol. Smaller than and below are similar terms. And the last one is the less than or equal to symbol, also known as no more than, not greater than, at most, and maximum. Okay, this table with the word bank will appear on your quiz exactly as you see it here. Question 2 wants you to write an inequality given the following statement. So I'm going to highlight the key words. There's at least 2 dogs in the car, at least. So again, if we go back to our table, at least is the greater than or equal to symbol. And there's at least 2 dogs in that car. Now, we could pick whatever variable we want, but they're talking about dogs, so maybe we'll use the letter D. D is greater than or equal to 2. She weighs less than 100 pounds. Well, less than, we should know that one. And she weighs less than 100. So maybe we'll say W for weight is less than 100. I can spend at most $250 on groceries. If we go back to the table, at most is less than or equal to symbol. She could spend at most $250 on groceries this week. So maybe we'll use S for spend, less than or equal to 250. You will pass your quiz if you score greater than or equal to 65. Greater than or equal to 65, and that's passing. So maybe we'll use P. So P greater than or equal to 65. Directions. Okay, step 3 or section 3, you're going to have to solve the following one-step inequalities for the given variable. K minus 100 is less than 350. Well, we're going to use our inverse operations. We want to isolate K, meaning get the variable alone, and it's being subtracted by 100, so I'm going to add 100 to both sides. 100s cancel. K is less than 350 plus 100 is 450. The next one, you want to isolate B. It's being divided by 14, so we're going to have to multiply by 14 on both sides. 14's cancel, and b is less than or equal to, and if you break out your calculators, 42 times 14 is 588. Now the next one are variables on the right hand side of the inequality, but we do the same thing. We use our properties of equality to balance out our equations, and we want to use the inverse operation of subtraction by 35. So we're going to add 35 to both sides. 35's cancel. 100 plus 35 is 135, which is greater than k. And we spoke about writing our inequalities in terms of the variable, so let's flip this entire thing over. K is less than 135. Now the last one has negative 4 times n. We have to divide by negative 4 to get rid of the coefficient there. But when we divide by a negative number, what we learned in the last several lessons is that we need to flip the inequality symbol over. So greater than or equal to becomes less than or equal to. So n is now less than or equal to 16 divided by negative 4 is negative 4. Section 4 wants you to solve two-step inequalities. So this is what we did in the previous class. 30 is less than or equal to r over 4 plus 10. Well, we want to isolate r, and we got to get rid of that constant. So I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides. 30 minus 10 makes 20, is less than or equal to r over 4. Again, to get r alone, it's being divided, so we need to multiply by 4 on both sides. 4 times 20 is 80, is less than or equal to r, and we want to write it in terms of the inequality, so r is greater than or equal to 80. Feel free to pause and attempt some on your own and then play the video or resume the video to see if you got them right. For the next one, it's a little tricky. We have a minus 30 as a constant in the front plus 5z. I want to get rid of that negative 30. I'm going to add it to both sides. 30's cancel. 5z is greater than 50. Now this is 5 times z, so we're going to divide by 5 on both sides. But this is a positive 5, so we don't need to worry about flipping the inequality symbol. 5's cancel. Z is greater than 50 divided by 5 is 10. The last example, we're going to add 2 to both sides. 4x is greater than 16. And we're going to divide by 4 on both sides. X is greater than 16 divided by 4 is 4. Excuse my dog there. Some more two-step inequalities that we're going to solve. We have 3 more here. 20 is less than 3x plus 5, so I'm going to subtract 5 on both sides. 15 is less than 3x. Divide by 3 on both sides, and we get 5 is less than x. And again, we could flip it over to rewrite it. 10 minus 5v. This is a tough one. If we want to isolate v, we have to get rid of that constant, and there's subtraction there, but this 10 is positive, so I'm going to have to subtract it from both sides. Negative 5v is greater than or equal to 40. We have negative 5 times v, so we're going to divide by negative 5 on both sides, but that's division by a negative. We're going to flip that inequality symbol over. And V is now less than or equal to 40 divided by negative 5 is negative 8. For the last one, we have negative 7D plus 22. I'm going to minus that 22 from both sides. And we get negative 7D is less than or equal to 49. And I'm going to divide by a negative 7 on both sides. Again, we have division by a negative. So we're going to flip that inequality symbol over. So D is now greater than or equal to negative 7. The next part, we have some multi-step inequalities. These are some skills that we learned when we were solving multi-step equations. The same skills apply, and we should be able to identify them in the same way. I see a number outside of parentheses in our first example. That means we have to distribute, so draw your arrows to all of the terms inside of the parentheses from the one on the outside. Remember, these mean multiply. 2 times P is 2P. 2 times 2 is a positive 4, is less than 6. Now, what I have written in the blue is a standard two-step inequality like we just solved on the last 2 pages. Oh, forgive me. We're going to minus 4 on both sides. 4's cancel. 2P is less than 2. Now we divide by 2 on both sides. 2's cancel. P is less than 2 divided by 2 is 1. I'm going to change this back to blue. Okay, again, example number 2, I have a 5 on the outside. I'm going to distribute. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 3r is 15r. It's less than or equal to 120. This is a positive 30, so I'm going to subtract it from both sides. 15r is greater than or equal to 120 minus 30 makes 90. I'm going to divide by 15 on both sides to isolate that r, and r is greater than or equal to 90 divided by 15 is 6. The last one is slightly different. There's no parentheses, there's no distribution involved, we just need to combine like terms. I see a 4n and a minus 2n on the same side of our inequality symbol. Then I also see a plus 10 or a positive 10 and a positive 20. We're going to combine those like terms. 4n minus 2n makes 2n. A positive 10 plus 20 makes a positive 30. And that's greater than or equal to 60. We're going to subtract 30 on both sides. And 2n is greater than 60 minus 30 is 30. Divide by 2 on both sides. N is greater than 30 divided by 2 is 15. The last question you're going to have here is writing and solving an inequality given a word problem. So a real world example here. Now, something important, do not forget to put your answer in words. So we're going to highlight the key stuff here out of this scenario, and then we're going to try and build our own inequality and then solve it. Brett has a $30 online gift voucher. He plans to buy as many books as he can. The cost of each book is $4. There is also a one-time single shipping charge of 2 books. How many books can he afford without spending more than his gift voucher amount? So each book is $4, so $4 per book, 4B, plus a one-time cost of $2 for shipping. Now, this has to be less than or equal to the $30 that he has on this gift voucher. He can't spend over the $30 because that's all he has. So we're going to solve this exactly like we would on the previous pages and subtract 2 from both sides. 4b is less than or equal to 30 minus 2 is 28. We're going to divide by 4 on both sides. And b is less than or equal to 28 divided by 4 is 7. Now again, do not forget to put your answer in words. Brett can purchase. And we're going to use one of those words from the front for greater than or, less than or equal to. And I kind of like this one right here. At most. Brett can purchase at most 7 books. Okay? So make sure you study this Chapter 3 quiz review prior to taking your quiz. And don't forget to submit via Gmail or the Google Voice